Welcome all for the lecture 5 series of social media analytics, pre-processing and cleaning the social media data. So introduction to pre-processing and cleaning. What is pre-processing? What is data pre-processing? Data pre-processing is a process of transferring a raw social media data into a clean and structured and, and, and usable format for analysis. So this is a thing we are saying is a pre-processing. Pre-processing. Why the pre-processing and cleaning is very important for us? When you want to use a data, we are collecting a raw data. It may consist of a lot of noises and unwanted data that has to be structured and it has to be clean. Then only we can have a proper outcome for our data. Why pre-processing is needed? Social media data is noisy and unstructured. You may aware that normal some other data set it has structured data. So structured data there will be a possibility of less noises will be there. But when you go for a social media data, the data itself unstructured data and also it may consist of noises. So that has to be handled properly. Then only the processing of the data will be much more easier for the models. It improves the accuracy of analysis and models. If I do the pre-processing properly and I have a structured proper data, then I can have a proper accurate results can be get from that pre-processed data. It reduces errors and bias. So if I am not doing the pre-processing for my data and I try to collect the information, it won't give a proper information. So that will be avoided. So this is the reason we have to do the pre-processing. What are the common data issues? The pre-processing steps, missing values. The missing value is nothing but when you take a data, some values are not available, not present. That is called missing value. So we have to follow some strategies to fill the missing values. The next one, noise and spam. Noise is the data that is not relevant to our information. That will be considered as outliers. Spam. Spam is, you know what is a spam? Unwanted information. And irrelevant content. That content it is available there. So some content is there, then we can say this proper structured data. No. The data has to be relevant. If it is irrelevant data, that also considered as a issues. For this things has to be resolved when we are doing a data pre-process. Data collection and initial inspection. What is data collection? So we want to do a process of a data. The previous step is data collection. So first I have to collect a data, then I have to process my data or clean my data. Collecting using APIs, web scraping, or data sets. The last sessions we have discussed about more about what are the publicly available social media APIs and what is the process of web scraping and also data sets we are collecting from some repositories. This all the formats are mostly available in the JSON format, CSV and XML. So these are the common formats of data are available for us while we are collecting a data for the initial inspection. What is the initial inspection? To understand the data size and structure. Once we collected the data, then we have to understand how many records are available. If you take a simple example of CSV format or Excel formats, we have to understand how many records are available, what is the size of my data, and what is the structure they are using, what is the different data types they are used for it. That is the first most steps for the initial inspection. Then identifying missing or duplicate records. The first thing we have to identify whether all the records are properly filled with the data or any empties are available. If empty is available, what steps I can do? Either I can fill the missing values or I totally remove that particular record. So it's depend upon the case to case that will be. There will be different software mechanisms are available to pre-processing your data. What is a basic step? Load data into tools, either Python or Excel or R. Check data types and fields. So the R is one of the programming language. It will support this type of data collection and inspection thing. The example, if you can take inspected print text, So Twitter API, we can find out what are the tweets are posted on the particular day. So which tweets come in the topmost hashtag. Then timestamps. So timestamps is very important. When the data is produced and what time it is produced, that is very much important in the data. So we cannot have only a data, and also timestamps is very important. The data when it is produced, then when we are going to use the data. So when I'm using a data, timestamp will plays a major role. For example, if you take a climatical data example, so how when the monsoon will come, when the rain will come, when the winter will come, when the summer will come, we adapted the environment, we know that what is going to be happen. As a new scenario, if someone new comes, they want to search it, or it's based on the past data, they can analyze. So this month, this climatical condition will happen. Or if you take an example as a some supermarket or something, then we can understand that when the sales will be high or low like that. Then likes who are all the user, they likes my post or thing, then what is their user ID? This is everything we can analyze with the data what we collect. Removing a noise and irrelevant contents. What is noise? Unwanted or meaningless data that will be that will be considered as a noise. Noise is unwanted and meaningless data. So you can see a lot of examples here. Before, check this out. Then lot of symbols is there, some emojis is there. Check this out. Awesome. So after removing the noises and irrelevant content, we are getting this outcome. So what are the types of noises? URLs and links. Here, URLs is there and mentions. Sometimes they will put at symbol, and normally in your WhatsApp, you know that. And if I want to find someone, I can use hashtag symbol is a hash symbol. Emojis optional based on tasks. Here we used some smiley emojis like that. But that is not a formal way of text. So that we have to be eliminated. That has to be properly removed. Then only we can have a proper set of data. This type of process is called as a noise removal. What is the technique they are using? Regular expression or stop word removal. So different types of techniques are available. Lot of tools are available to do this process. This is more specific to a social media data. We are discussing this. The same thing will be available in normal data board, but there it won't have this much of problems. When you come for a social media data, so the raw data has to be predicted properly. Handling missing and duplicate data. So missing data it occurs due to an incomplete profiles or deleted content. When the user filling the data, they maybe filled only few data that is missing. Or sometimes unwantedly that contents may be deleted. The techniques to handle the missing data are remove the incomplete records. What are the records are incomplete? The first more step is we try to fill the values, but it is not there. The best way is remove the incomplete data. Replace the default values. If something is some columns are there, city column is not available. I collected the records all from Chennai city only means, and I can fill the columns as Chennai city. This is just simple example. Ignore the non-critical fields. Somewhere we can ignore that fields. Duplicate data. It retweets, shared, post, copied comments. So retweet means the same tweet will be repeated multiple times so that I can ignore it. Or shared post. When I use a shared post, the same post will be shared by multiple people. The content is similar so that we can remove it. Or copied content, comments. So comment someone put the comment, the same comment will be repeated by multiple people. So this remove a duplicate using IDs. So how I can remove the duplicates based on IDs? The same ID it comes again, we can remove it. But the different ID, but they put the same message, we cannot say as a duplicates. Keep a original post only. Example, removing the repeated tweets with the same tweet ID. So particular same tweet ID. That one same tweet did by multiple people. That is will be considered as retweets. In the case of I want to remove the duplicates, that time I can use it. Or I want to have a counts on it, how many times it is repeated. I can have that message, but I can use a counter to keep track that information. Text pre-processing, it is based on lower casing, tokenization, stemming, stop code removal. These are the very basic text pre-processing techniques. So stop code removal, this and all we have seen about in the social media analytical platforms. What is text normalization techniques? Text normalization, it converts a text into a standard format. Common techniques are lower casing text, removing the punctuation, expanding the abbreviations, correcting the spelling. If anything spellings are wrong, we have to correct it. These are the common text normalization. Normalization means it is we are going to correct the errors, and it has to come to not only the errors. We cannot say directly errors. If we have to come to some standard format, some prescribed format. So we can take an example before. Oh my God, that is OMG. This movie is great. Actually, we understand GR8 is a great, but the system cannot understand what is the word we are given. So we have to remove the some special characters, explanatory symbols that comes after the OMG. So that has to be removed. So GR8 we interpret and we convert trust. Okay, this is the text normalization. We are converting the text into a informal way of text to a formal way of text. We have a question, sir, why we have to convert to an informal way of text to a normal way of text? Then only for processing our data, this and all very much essential. Tokenization, stop words and stemming. Tokenization means split the text into a words or token. So what we can do, we can split each and every word as a one token. Then we can see the example. Stop word removal. Removing the common word is, the, and, was, that, which are the common word that won't have that direct meaning. That and all we can remove. Stemming, reduce the words to the root form. That root form means we come to a sentences that to a normal thing. For example, learning. This is a continuous form that we come to a normal thing, learn. That is what we can say, that tense we have now, present tense, past tense, future tense, like that. We come to a present format or root format. That normally we'll say present as a root format. So the example you can take, students are learning data mining. Here I am separating each and every words. Stop word removal is there first. So R is a stop word that is removed. Students learning data mining. So each and every word will be converted as a one token. Then we convert them to a standard form. Plural means singular. Past means past tense or future tense or past continuous, future continuous. Any type of things we can convert to a standard format. That standard format is students come to a standard format. Student learning. Standard format is a learn. Data, that is a data. Mining comes to mine. This is called stemming. Stemming means come to a root level. That basic word forms. Handling the emojis, slangs, and multilingual data. They represent the emotions and sentiments. Somewhere they will present as a, the phone is, the symbol is there. That symbol, what is it is saying? It's excellent or it's bad or something. So from this understanding, we say that phone is excellent. Can be removed or converted to a text. What we can do? Either we can remove this, but if we remove this, it won't give a proper meaning. So we have to go for conversion. The slang and abbreviation, internet languages, LOL, BTW, GR8, we have seen the previous thing, great. Then multilingual data, mixed language in the post. If the mixed language in the post, convert to a standard English languages like that. Techniques used is emoji deductions, slang normalization, language detection. This and all the various methods and lot of algorithms are already the various tools are available to do this process. Future extraction and the final prepared data set. The future extraction, it transforms the text into a normal future, numerical future somewhere. The common techniques are bag of words, TF, IDF, term frequency, invert document frequency, word embedding. This and all we are going to see more in the upcoming our sessions. Final data sets, cleaned and structured data. That is a final data set. What I am getting, it's cleaned and it's a structured data. It is ready for analyzing or modeling. What are the application we are using? We are using a sentiment analysis, it's a topic modeling, trend detection. The outcome is a higher accuracy and efficient processing. So that's all about this thing: data, pre-processing, and cleaning. The list of the topics we will continue in our next session. Thank you all.